in about a little over 10 minutes, we have something called ADP employment data coming out. So as always, we're going to stay live for this. We'll watch it come out, see if we can catch any trades. I'm going to be a little more focused on gold just because of where we're sitting on NAS. If we see ADP employment come out lower, I'm going to be looking for it similar to yesterday. Now, gold, it's sitting at a really good area right now. It's just at the bottom of this consolidation zone. This is where we took the buys yesterday, around here, and right back up to this zone. And even other people who took it in the middle of this breakout as it broke out there. And it's just kind of choppy. But if it comes out lower and we're watching gold, I want to take gold buys at the support. And then it's just a matter of hoping this actually gives us a breakout higher if we can get a bigger move today. The best opportunity will come when we see a surprise drop in labor market data. And the feds have specifically said that. They were like, we will take action sooner if we see a quick deterioration of the labor markets. So what that means is, like, if they see like, oh shit, like there's a lot of people out of work, we're going to cause a recession, let's cut rates like immediately. That's the kind of stuff that we want to see. And that's why I think it would be a better opportunity if we get that. So if we get the data coming out lower than expected, I'd be looking for gold buys. And like I said, I want to focus a little more on gold just because I like where it is from a technical perspective. On the other hand, if this comes out above expected, yesterday we got a little spike to the downside. I think it was around here, and it still held and pushed right back up. So be careful taking sells on higher data. With that being said, if it comes out way above, and if we get breaks of support here on gold, or if we get aggressive pullbacks on NAS, there's a chance it'll play out at least for a little bit. The reason NAS would drop or gold would drop is because if we see stronger labor market data, that would have to cause the markets to start pricing in an interest rate pause, meaning no rate cut, which is, I think, in like a week and a half now, the rate decision, right? So if the markets, which you can see here, we're 72% priced in for a rate cut. If labor market data causes the markets to price in a pause, right now we're only 27% priced in, that would be a shift, at least short term, in expectations for the markets. That would be bearish for NAS, bearish for US 30, bearish for gold, and also bullish for the US dollar. So you would look for US dollar strength. But the Federal Reserve is not looking to employment data to make their decisions on interest rates. So it's very unlikely that the markets are going to expect a pause based on stronger labor market data. At the end of the day, if we get a reaction, if we see a drop and you want to take sells, I would just be careful for it to flip really quickly. Gold's a perfect example of what happened yesterday when you look at the lower time frame after that data came out right here, right? Really strong candle. The data came out somewhere up like on this candle exactly, broke support, came down to here, but still didn't continue anymore. And if you're only looking at technicals, looks like a lot of bearish price action, looks like sellers on the market on gold. It looks like it's going to drop. But if you understand how it's not going to change what I just talked about with interest rates, there's no reason for gold to continue lower. At the same time, don't fight technicals, right? If you're seeing it break and you're comfortable taking the risk, there's nothing wrong necessarily with trying to take that a little lower. We just need to see how the markets react to it if it comes out stronger, right? So I want to look at this number real quick because it could be important for those who haven't seen this before. We can see the majority of voters are sitting right at 150, right? That's where this number comes from, this forecast. And then if you look here, you can see the minimum and max, 100 and 195. We're honestly pretty evenly split across the board here when it comes to voters. Everyone's the majority at 150, and then we have a couple here over at 190. So to get a higher print, we need to come above, at least in my opinion, we need to come above this max, 195, to clear all of these voters and actually give us a surprise. On the low side, it doesn't look like we need to break 100, right? Just, if you guys haven't watched the video on economic data, I'm talking about getting a surprise in the market, right? Very important to understand. But you can see the majority of voters around here at 130 is like the lowest, and then you have 125, one voter, and then 100. So if we get a print of 100, even though it's technically not a surprise, like we wouldn't break the minimum, I'd still look for gold buys. I would still look for price action to go in my favor to take this to the upside because it's still in favor of a lower print and it's close enough to a surprise. But at the end of the day, we need to watch price action. We need to see how the markets react because we don't know how the markets are going to take it until it actually happens. Lower data, I'm looking for gold buys. higher data, and I want to see like really higher data, I'd look for gold sells. 5 seconds. We're going to be looking at this little, I didn't circle it, but we're going to be looking right here. It came out a little bit below. See if gold flips here. It did come out below expected, which is good. I'm not really seeing gold do too much here. I'd like to at least see this flip. Oh, I'm on the wrong time frame. Let's go to the 5-minute. Here we go. Gold holding here. I want to see if dollar drops and if yields actually push to the upside, which yield spiked lower. Interesting. Hang on a second. Okay, they revised the prior to they even revised the prior lower to 184. So I want to see if gold actually holds this zone here, which it looks pretty good right now, sitting at this support. DXY dropping, beautiful. We just need to see if gold actually pushes up. You know, the first zone to watch, if it actually gives it to us and reaches this area, is going to be this 2665. And then once again, at the top of the zone here, I would love to see a breakout here, but nice slow price action. I mean, a little too slow, but I like that it at least gave us an opportunity to get a decent entry there. Number one, they revised the prior data lower, which is a surprise, right? And also we got the actual data coming out lower. We haven't seen data like unemployment data. I mean, or we haven't seen labor market data come out lower than expected in like probably almost 8 weeks. I'm going to monitor price action in the middle of the zone. If dollar doesn't drop more, I'm going to go break even on this just in case. Because remember, gold is still kind of just consolidating here, but at the moment, price action looks really good. So we're still in gold buys. A part of me wants to go break. This is far enough, at least for me, far enough away from my entry that if it recovers this move, I might not want to be in. I don't really like what I'm seeing. I'm probably going to take some partials on this. I'm going to go break even. I don't want to overmanage this because I like what I'm seeing for gold, but I don't really like what I'm seeing for dollar. So yeah, it's up about, I'm gonna take probably half, a little. It's up, it's at 2 grand. Small push so far. I'm still gonna hold it. Let's see, it's still going. I'm gonna wait for this candle closure before making any decisions, but I'm break even on it. Reason being is if it recovers this whole move, you know, I don't want to be playing around in this anyways. Oh yeah. 2K profit closed. Next month's sub paid with that gold buy. Good job, man. Dollar. I'm gonna take partials on gold here, just because it still looks really good. A little over 2 grand, but I'm gonna take some partials right there. And reason being, like I said, I don't really care for what the dollar's doing, but the price action on gold looks great. So, like I said, if anyone's in this, we'll break it down on gold real quick. Go to the higher time frame. Solid push so far. If you're in gold, you know, first zone to be watching would be this. Now, to be fair, if you're looking at XEU USD chart, I know that the price might be different, but technicals are the same, right? So on the 30-minute time frame, you can see this zone here that I'd be watching for your first, you know, TP area, and also these highs too. I'm going to put an alert here because I might take more partials if it hits this and just see what happens. If anyone's in gold, this is the first TP area that it's hitting right now. So this is an area that's worth, you know, either going break even, taking partials, or closing the trade if you really wanted to. But remember, we also have this area here at the top of this range. So solid trade. We'll do the W's. Yeah. Okay. Hang on. We gotta prepare for it. Yeah, we'll do it right now. So anyone who took any wins, gold buys, or even NAS buys after the ADP employment data, let's see the wins. Let's see the W's. Kicking ass. Come on. Hell yeah. Gold's still pushing to the upside, still looking good. Once again, for everyone who's been here for a while, you guys know this, but you'll learn the more you show up. You never know which one's going to be the mover. Sometimes you choose the right pair to trade, the right asset. Sometimes you don't. You never really know. The one thing I would say is, like, don't change what you do every single day because of it. Because there are people who will trade just Euro USD or a currency, and then they'll see this on gold, and then they switch over to gold. And then when the choppy markets in gold happen, they wish they were trading a currency. So it's like, just choose one, stick with it, and accept. Don't change what you're doing every single day in terms of like what you're trading because something else moved. These highs here is the area worth watching on gold. If you guys have already taken partials, cool. If not, I won't tell you how to manage your trade, but this is definitely a zone to watch. You can see how choppy it's been at this area. Even yesterday when it did break out, it immediately came right back in. So it's one of those things, you gotta be careful. Okay, so gold is sitting at these highs here, like I was talking about earlier. So I already took partials at about 2,000 in profit. It's up about almost 3,000 now, and I'm going to do that right now. So that's the trade on gold. These are the buys, and that's the trade on gold. I just took profit on it right now at these highs.